Chapter 3: A Fragile Alliance. The following days after the battle were a blur of recovery and preparation. The U.S. Forward Operating Base was a hive of activity. Wounded soldiers were tended to, supplies were restocked, and tactical briefings ran late into the night. Carter's squad had taken heavy losses, but they had held the line, and that was what mattered. For now, they were alive. Carter sat on a crate within the mess hall, slowly picking at his ration pack. His thoughts kept drifting back to the battlefield. The chaos, the fear in the faces of his fallen comrades. It didn't feel real. Like some twisted nightmare he couldn't wake up from. "Hey," Mason's voice pulled him back to the present. "You good?" Carter gave a tight smile. "Yeah, just thinking." Mason sat down beside him, peeling open his own ration pack. "I get it. We all lost someone out there, but we keep going. That's what they'd want." "I know," Carter rubbed his eyes. "But it doesn't feel like a win when you lose so many." Mason nodded, understanding. "Yeah, but we're still here, right? And we've got a job to do." Carter's thoughts were interrupted as the door to the mess hall opened. The U.S. Secretary of Defense, General Dawson, entered, followed by a delegation of Polish officials. There was a momentary silence as everyone in the room stood at attention. "We have to talk," General Dawson said, his voice stern. "The Russian offensive isn't slowing down. They've got reinforcements coming from the east. The situation is dire, and it's not just the U.S. facing them. Poland's ready to join the fight." Carter watched as Poland's Secretary of Defense, Alexander Nowak, stepped forward as a tall man with a sharp gaze. Nowak had the air of someone used to making tough decisions. "We've already mobilized our forces," Nowak said. "We'll support you, but we want to be sure of our strategy. We don't want to waste soldiers in pointless skirmishes." The tension in the room thickened. Dawson's eyes narrowed. "We're in a full-scale war. Every battle counts. We can't afford to be picky." Nowak's jaw tightened, but his voice remained calm. "I understand the stakes, but we've learned the hard way. Sometimes it's better to wait and gather strength than to rush in without a plan." "You want to sit back and wait?" Dawson's voice raised slightly. "We don't have that luxury anymore. We either fight now or we lose everything." Carter exchanged a glance with Mason, who was leaning forward, listening intently. Nowak paused and then nodded slowly. "We'll fight, but we want to be sure we're fighting smart. We'll contribute forces where they're most needed." Dawson didn't seem entirely satisfied but nodded. "Fine, but make no mistakes. We need every soldier we can get. This isn't just about strategy anymore. This is about survival." The Polish delegation remained silent for a moment, as if weighing their next move. Finally, Nowak spoke. "We'll make sure our forces are integrated with yours. But if we're to fight together, we need to ensure that we're on the same page." Dawson sighed, rubbing his forehead. "I'll leave that to our commanders. But be prepared. The Russians won't stop." Nowak's eyes met Carter's for a brief second, his gaze calculating. "And neither will we."